What's poppin'? This is your big brother GantzManboy here to bring a quick video for my brothers to warn y'all. The summer is really here and it's heating up, and I'm not just talking about climate change. Thinking about it, this might be even more important than the fact Florida will soon become one giant SeaWorld attraction. Hell, that may need to happen even sooner now that this information I'm about to relay to you is out in the public. Seems my neighboring Floridians are once again up to no good, and I'm not speaking about the infamous Florida man we constantly hear about. No. This is a much more elusive creature found around these parts, that being the ever-protected Florida woman. Like myself and many others, we have caught us one of these specimens and currently live side by side with them, making our money and dumping it into their bottomless pits of desires as we frantically attempt to keep them latched to us and not stray off with the other dogs, some of which being our very own friends. See, we both hold hand in hand with an unspoken, sometimes overly spoken agreement that neither side will venture off behind the other's back and leave their pheromones in someone else's sleeping quarters. And if they do so, we know that will be the end of our journey together. Still, with everything on the line, some people decide to take that chance, and in our society, we've been led to believe us men are the ones doing all the wrong, or at least most of it. And without any solid numbers, we've had to sit back and accept this stigma that trails behind us as it makes our attempts at attaining a woman that much harder. Well, I'm pleased to announce to my comrades that we got them, and the enemy may be sitting right next to you as we speak. Let's talk about it. So Ashley Madison recently conducted a study on cheating within the United States, and their findings are pretty damn interesting. But honestly not surprising and mirrors a lot of what I've talked about in the past with friends and coworkers. If you don't know what Ashley Madison is, it's essentially a website designed for people in relationships to discreetly hook up with others who are also in relationships. So, cheating.com. If you're anything like me and take out the time to watch educational videos on websites I won't name for now, you might have seen a couple ads for this website floating around or distracting you from your personal learning time, if you know what I mean. Ashley Madison, being made for cheating, of course got curious and wanted to see what areas had the most cheaters, who were the ones cheating, and how those people felt about what they were doing. Thankfully for us, they decided to roll out a full investigation, and now we have the juicy results, pun intended. Now, funny enough, as a lifelong Floridian, I expected some cities in Florida to 100% be on the top 20 list they compiled. But I was surprised and then immediately not surprised when I found out we take up 3 spots in this list, 2 of which being first and second place. I'll throw the picture here on the screen for a few so you can see if your city falls on this list. Tampa takes the 10th spot on this list, and being only 40 minutes away from where I live, I can totally see how it's solidified its ranking. Where things really start getting interesting, though, is when upon further inspection, they came to the shocking conclusion that women are actually more likely to cheat than their male counterparts. Like I said before, it's always been a common trope that men are the ones going around sharing their flesh pickles with anything that walks, but this study proves that may not be the case at all, at least in the modern era. I think it's pretty common knowledge that women are far more superior at multitasking than us men. The farthest we get is getting a 10-kill streak on Call of Duty with one hand, while chugging a gallon of Mountain Dew with the other hand, and possibly reading a top-tier hentai manga opened on another window. Pretty much any situation that calls for us to manage multiple objectives that don't pertain to us being a caveman renders us completely useless. Which is why we get the women to do it all for us, and we appreciate the good work, ladies. With that being said, women being superior in terms of multitasking, well, of course they would be talented in juggling multiple guys around at one time, over messages and even in person. My extensive hours of educational video watching let me know this is indeed an easy feat for them. So as they're juggling us around like a handful of balls being passed in a circus, literally, we're being made to believe it's us doing all the backstabbing. And from the research, that's just not the case. Of course, when asked about why they decided to cheat, they said it's because they're not having sex with their partner or they're not having orgasms. Which sounds like a lot of blame shifting to me. I mean, if you're not having sex, talk to your partner about it. You never know if they're going through something stressful, and if that's the case, sex usually is not at the top of their priorities. However, if they flat out say they don't want to have sex with you anymore, just break up with them right there. What's the point in staying with them? You must be feeding off of their resources for you to stick around with someone who's not pleasing you. Then when it comes to not orgasming, doesn't the fact that some random person you hook up with being able to make you orgasm just prove your partner may be inexperienced and you have neglected to teach them how to make you do so? This is something I've heard a lot from ladies, and it boils down to opening your mouth and actually giving feedback and tips to your partner. For some reason, men are supposed to always know how to physically please a woman, or they're worthless. Like there's no room for growth. You're either a sex guru or you're trash. That's just how it is. And I think that's a damaging way of seeing things. So please, women, be open and instruct your man. I promise nothing is more rewarding for us than learning how to make your legs shake harder than a nervous chihuahua when the thunder rolls in. Finally, when talking to these women even more, 65% of the women said that when they cheated, they no longer were attracted to their partner. Yet, 74% of them made sure to cement the fact they still loved their partners before and after the act they committed. So what does that say about the nature of love, fellas? Well, I always go back to the words of a great modern-day philosopher who goes by the name of 21 Savage. And this is what he had to say. I'd rather have loyalty than love. 'Cause love really don't mean jack. Straight up. See, love is a feeling. You can love somebody and still stab them in the back. Oh God. Well, that'll be all for today, my fellow saviors. Make sure to grab your girlfriend's phone, hop on Ashley Madison, and see if the login info is saved. But before that, make sure to leave your insightful opinions in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and make sure to hit the notification bell. Of course, you can come back and change your mind like a cuck, because we're all entitled to make our own choices, and I hope you choose to have a good rest of your day. Peace out.